Alright, let's talk about going crosstown in Midtown. Now, when I say Midtown, I specifically mean 59th to 14th Street. To be honest, going crosstown really sucks. With the exception of the major crosstown streets of 14th, 23rd, 34th, 42nd, and 57th Streets, which are 100 feet wide, the other streets are only 60 feet wide. Effectively, this turns most of the crosstown routes into a single traffic lane if street parking is allowed on both sides of the road. You can thank the Commissioner's Plan of 1811 for this design. As a cyclist, this is extremely hazardous since the bike lanes are all located on these narrow streets. On top of it all, they're all either shared routes or conventional bike lanes, and if they are conventional bike lanes, they're frequently located in the door zone, so you need to be careful and predictable. Go slow enough in the bike lanes so you can anticipate doors, pedestrians, and traffic. I would suggest when using the bike lane to stay to the right instead of riding to the left away from doors, since it places you farther into traffic, which I believe is more dangerous. It is because of this design I prefer to take the traffic lane to be seen by cars and to avoid dooring. However, when the traffic stops moving, I filter very carefully using the bike lane as a guide. When the traffic opens up, I take the traffic lane again. And in some cases like here, there's no room to filter, so I hop on the sidewalk and walk. I mean, it didn't cost me any time anyway since I'm already at a red light. The most important thing I can suggest is not to overtake or undertake vehicles unless you're absolutely sure you're able to pass, or else you may not live to see another day. I highly recommend a mirror when cycling, as it allows you to see what's behind you at all times. And quite frequently, I take the major cross streets instead as a cyclist rather than deal with the smaller streets, since vehicles can predict me better and pass me safely when I'm taking the lane. Quite frankly, there's no good route when going crosstown in Manhattan, and after Dan Hannaby's death on a city bike going crosstown on 26th Street while being sideswiped by a bus, the city should really do something about it. And yes, I say sideswiped by a bus because that's what actually happened according to video evidence taken by building security. I mean, the NYPD report said that he lost control and fell under the wheels of the bus, but I don't believe it. The guy was fit and he was an experienced cyclist, even though he wasn't wearing a helmet, but that doesn't protect you against some bus wheels. All of the crosstown midtown routes get a safety rating of 1 out of 10, an access rating of 10 out of 10 because they connect with all the avenues in Manhattan basically, and a scenery rating of whatever you want to give it. I mean, personally, I'd rate it really low because most of Manhattan is just tall buildings and traffic, unless you're going to the shorelines of the Hudson River or the East River. But everyone has their little perks and places to be, so it's up for you to decide.